Hey, this is the Recklessly Skeptical Podcast. My name's Matt.
My name is Josh.
I'm Joe.
That's Joe.
Your friendly neighborhood
I'm Joe. I'm your friendly neighborhood atheist.
Joe.
Joe.
No.
Oh, God, let's not keep that shit going.
All right.
So today is December 18th, 2016, and we welcome you all today to this podcast. Thanks for listening. And remember, you can find this podcast on Spreaker and on YouTube, Recklessly Skeptical. And go check out our other channels. Joe and I are the Evil Atheists, and Josh is ZZZ Giant Awake. Find those on YouTube. And if you want, join the Facebook group, The Evil Atheists, and atheist is plural. There's an S at the end.
I had some people looking at the other Evil Atheist page. That
it got a few likes recently.
Should we delete that, or
I probably should.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then also, I think it would make it a lot easier. And also, please like and share and listen to this podcast. Tell your friends to listen to it and subscribe. That's the main thing right there.
Did you just say
subscribe?
Subscribe?
Subscribe.
Yeah, there we go.
I said subscribe.
Yeah,
We know what you mean.
Yep.
Alrighty, so should we start off the stolen thought?
I think we should.
So I wanted to...
Whoa,
that was weird.
Don't do that.
I didn't mean to.
I want to read something from Christopher Hitchens, his book, God Is Not Great, because a few days ago it was the anniversary of his death.
Oh.
So that day I had to watch, 20 minutes of Hitch Slap, just watching Christopher Hitchens bitch slapping people in his debates.
He was really good at that.
Yep. All right, so here we go. Quote, on the other hand, and as if by way of compensation, religion teaches people to be extremely self-centered and conceited. It assures them that God cares for them individually, and it claims that the cosmos was created with them specifically in mind. This explains the supercilious expression on the faces of those who practice religion ostentatiously. Pray, excuse my modesty and humility, but I happen to be busy on an errand for God. End quote. And I that's awesome. So people often say they're like humbled Christians, but
Yeah.
but they're...
So we wanted to start featuring stuff from our Facebook page and from also from the comment section of our videos or from emails. And so today we're going to bring a Facebook post from the Evil Atheist Facebook group page.
Look, y'all, I'm about to see a psychic. I want to know if she can tell. Psychics can tell your future or whatever you're about to go through. So I want to know if she can tell that I'm about to do this. Hey!
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Continue playing it.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to tell people what happened because they don't know. So he just walked around the corner and the psychics are sitting there and he just screamed at them around the corner. And they're like, freaking out.
Are you out of your fucking mind? Get the fuck out of here before I call the fucking police.
I heard you guys were psychics. I want to know if you were able to talk to
Get
you.
out of here. Get the fuck out of here before I call
Guess
the
not.
police on you. Get the fuck out, man.
I didn't know. I didn't know if there was...
Keep your ass moving, man. What the fuck?
Yo, you guys were psychics. I didn't know.
Fuck.
I didn't know.
And above it says proof psychics are scams. No, I think you can figure it out from the audio what happened.
Yeah.
We've got the smartest listeners in the world.
Context is good.
Except we don't have Donald Trump listening to us.
That's true.
So I guess we don't have the smartest people because
Maybe he
all the best
doesn't
people.
like our words. Maybe we don't have the best words
Yeah,
because we use words. Maybe sometime they're not the best words.
the best words. He's got the best words. All right, so now we'll get into our first actual news segment or recent event segment or something to that effect. This one's about Donald Trump, and to introduce the trip or this clip, it's an audio clip, and thanks to the Daily Show for putting this together, because I think the way the clips that they used were very poignant. I think that a lot of people who need to hear this, who absolutely need to hear this, aren't listening to the Daily Show or don't listen to things that are critical of voting for Donald Trump. So the segments, this is on the Trump thank you tour, where he's going around the country thanking them for voting for him, even though it's weird because no president has ever done this before. It really seems like a shot at self-grandeur. But on this tour, he's come out with some really important things. So Matt, what do you remember as far as like his catchphrases from the tour?
Lock her up. That one was really important to everyone.
Yeah. Or drain the swamp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drain the swamp.
There was one other one. I can't remember what it was. But it doesn't matter because he actually speaks to those points. Like, he speaks to those chants. He's got people who are excited to see him, are all about – they know all the Trump tunes for essentially. And so let's go ahead and play what he says in the thank you tour.
You've been hearing me say it's a rigged system, but now I don't say it anymore because I won. Okay? It's true. Now I don't care. I don't care.
And so, like, from that alone, you should be astounded. Like, he doesn't care that the system's rigged all of a sudden. Like, he's not saying he doesn't think it's not rigged. He just doesn't care anymore. It worked for him.
I don't know. Yeah,
and what's crazy is the people behind him in the audience that you can see clapping.
they're just laughing.
They're laughing and smiling. And he's straight up saying, like, I fucking lied to you. That was just bullshit. And they're happy. They don't care what his policies actually are. All they care is about beating Hillary. Hillary's bad. Democrats are bad. We're Republicans. That's all they care about.
No, I think that there was some sincerity in what they wanted in Drain the Swamp and
Well, I'm sure, but now that their politician has come out and said, like, that's bullshit, they're still clapping like fucking puppets.
Well, at that point, I think that there are fewer people who clap in the next couple of clips, but I mean, it's astounding. It's absolutely astounding that he's just like coming out and saying it. Like, I mean, you guys. So if you're a Trump voter and you're listening to this, you need to recognize that he thinks you're a tool. You're a useful idiot is the phrase in politics. You're somebody who he's able to convince to do something that is useful for him. All right, let's go to the second segment if you're ready, Matt.
Because I heard my opponent had scheduled Michigan unexpectedly. It was like all of a sudden with President Obama and Michelle and Bill and Hillary, and they were going to Michigan. No, it's okay. No, forget it. That plays great before the election. No, we don't care, right?
So the crowd yelled, lock her up, and he's like, meh.
That plays great before the election, but now we don't care, right?
Yeah, like,
because I'm president.
well, and that's the thing. Like, from his perspective, like, it was a useful phrase to get him elected, and that's it. Like, he had no sincerity in the lock her up thing, and so this is not something that I'm totally against. Like, I don't think that he should then become president and then hire another private investigator to do another investigation on Hillary Clinton when she's been cleared like 16 fucking times. Like, it's a waste of taxpayer money to continue to investigate her. So, I mean, in this example, I'm somewhat, like, glad that he's not following up with what he said he was going to do. But if you're a Trump supporter and you voted for him based on this, again, you're a useful idiot.
Yep.
We're going to drain the swamp of corruption. Funny how that term caught on, isn't it? I tell everyone, I hated it. Somebody said, drain the swamp. I said, oh, that's so hokey. That is so terrible. I said, all right, I'll try it. So like a month ago, I said, drain the swamp. The place went crazy. I said, whoa, what's this? Then I said it again. Then I started saying it like I meant it, right? And then I said it, I started loving it. And the place loved it. It's drain the swamp. I mean, it's true. It's true. It's true. Drain the swamp.
You know what?
So, just
and then I started saying it like I meant it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. that line right there, if you actually care about money in politics or lobbyists or just how our government is corrupt, and you do care about that, and you took Trump at his word, and then you hear him say that, man, I just feel sorry for you Trump supporters.
Yeah, and so like drain the swamp means to take the money. So I was having a conversation at a party last night about this. Like, drain the swamp, or you want to get an outsider into the White House. The reason why you do that is because you're tired of money in politics and the government playing out in the interests of the big businesses or businesses in general. Like, you don't want that type of corruption in politics. That's what when you say drain the swamp, that's what you're asking for, right? But borne out in his choices in cabinet, Rex Tillerson, CEO of ExxonMobil. We've got Rick Perry, who's a fucking tool for the in Texas, who is always drill baby drill, and he's in charge of the Department of Energy. In charge of the EPA is Scott Pruitt, a person who has sued the EPA multiple times to try and get regulations loosened. Also somebody who has no belief in global warming or climate change. And then Treasury Secretary is Steve Mnuchin, who is the former CEO of Goldman Sachs, and also somebody who worked for what's the guy who everybody like bashes on, the right bashes on in Nevada? And the person who I was thinking of is Sheldon Adelson. Like, if you ever listen to Glenn Beck or Rush Limbaugh, like, Adelson's the devil, blah, blah, blah. And that's, I mean, Mnuchin worked for him. Like, these interests, the private interests, the interests that we were worried about, got a step closer. Like, instead of having Rex Tillerson have to donate to a Republican, all of a sudden Rex Tillerson is Secretary of State. Instead of Mnuchin having to donate to Republican Party, all of a sudden he's Secretary of Treasury. Like, these are the people who we have politicians in place of to keep at least that level of protection against corruption. And now he's just appointing them off the street.
So it sounds like he didn't drain the swamp; he filled it up.
Yeah,
He's
he's
filling
worse.
it up. Yeah, more.
Yeah, I mean, you could say he's flooding the swamp, but I mean, it's a useless analogy at this point. Like, it's just, the point is if you're against corruption, this is not the board that you would hope to find. All right, I mean, unless you don't have any more comment, Matt. You got pretty frustrated there. There was a look on your face of disgust.
It just astonishes me. I mean, it does what it doesn't. Like, I knew he was a bullshitter, Trump, the whole time, and he was feeding his supporters full of shit, and then what happens? He gets elected, and he, like you said, he's flooding the swamp with the same or even worse people. Even worse when it comes to the environment and science and climate change. It's definitely worse.
But do Trump supporters even care about that sort of shit?
No, they most of them probably don't even think it's real.
Yeah,
climate change, but. I don't know. Having regulations on big oil companies, even if you don't believe in climate change, is probably a good idea.
But Trump won. Yay.
Yay. Now he's going to drain the swamp.
Yeah, so I guess, again, the moral of the story is that if you voted for Trump for any of the reasons that we just mentioned, again, he views you as a useful idiot. He doesn't view you. He has no respect for you. He doesn't care what you actually want. He'll say whatever he needs to say to get you to vote for him and support him. Wake the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. You voted for Trump probably because of 3 different reasons, and each one of those reasons is out the window. So,
alrighty. So the next story is kind of funny. I just figured we could talk about it, you guys. So last week we had audio of a preacher yelling at children in a mall.
Mm-hmm.
Telling them that Santa isn't real. Here I have some of the quotes. I want to tell you today that there is no such thing as Santa Claus. Santa Claus does not exist.
Is that when he drooled?
It might have been when he drooled. The Christmas season is about Jesus. Jesus was born 2,016 years ago. He was born in a manger in a small town called Bethlehem. That is the truth about Christmas. So we played that audio last week, and it turns out that he ended up, he's claiming that he got assaulted, and he is a supporter of the Westboro Baptist Church. And I didn't know that last week.
Yeah.
But it kind of...
It makes sense.
It makes sense, exactly.
Makes a lot of sense.
So apparently he got beat up. by the two. I'm assuming the two gentlemen in the video that walked up to him and told him to shut up.
Yeah.
He's claiming that those two guys
assaulted him. Yeah, they probably just pushed him away. Because I think they were just trying to lead him away the last time, and he was like, "Don't put your hands on me."
Yeah.
And so it was probably nothing. I'm sure security got there pretty quick, too, you know, because there's mall security, and I'm sure they showed up. And
Yeah, I bet they did.
he was like, "They assaulted me. They pushed me a little. I'm going to go pray to Jesus and feel better. He'll make me feel better. He's real. Santa isn't."
Santa isn't. Yeah, so that's really all I have on that one. But kind of funny.
He looks like a douche.
He looks like a creep.
Yeah.
Yeah, creepy little guy.
Yeah. With fucked up teeth.
Yep. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. If your teeth are... my teeth are fucked up. My tooth is killing me right now.
Yeah? Do you want to tell us about it?
It just hurts. I wish I had some cocaine or something to put on it. Just to numb it up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Novocaine.
Some Novocaine. Some... What's the other stuff?
Meth?
No. Ambisol or something.
All right. Well, let's move forward.
Alrighty. It's on you, buddy.
Oh, we're back to me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Now, you got my story ready to go up there?
I sure do.
Awesome. There
Oh.
it is.
Okay, so the next story I have is about the president of the Philippines, and if you're not familiar with who that is, lucky you. It is President, let me load up the story, and then this is coming from the BBC. Philippines, Duarte admits personally killing suspects is the title of the story. And if you couldn't tell, so if you guys don't remember who Duarte is, he's made American news a couple of times, one for calling Obama a son of a bitch, and that he wanted to punch him in the face. And, yeah, he's a big dude, like, really macho man, right? He's every man's man.
He's a man's man.
But he also said a few months ago, Hitler massacred 3 million Jews. There's 3 million drug addicts in the Philippines. I'd be happy to slaughter them. So he makes light of a situation, the Holocaust, and then he has no problem comparing himself to Hitler. And then he says that he wants to execute all the drug criminals. And then, so he followed up with this a couple days ago, or the news broke a couple days ago about this. In Davao, so he used to be a mayor of a city, and the city, or the area that he was in charge of was called Davao. And so Mr. Duarte was speaking to business leaders at the presidential palace on Monday before an overseas trip. In Davao, I used to do it personally, murder people. Just to show the police that if I can do it, why can't you? And I'd go around Davao with a motorcycle and a big bike around, and I would just patrol the streets looking for trouble. I was really looking for a confrontation so I could kill. And so he's talking about going around and murdering motherfuckers. Like, no trial, no tribulation, just fucking, you're a drug addict, bam, done. And just to give you a little bit more as far as the story goes, the last part. So this is a quote from an international person. It doesn't say Amnesty International is the group. The climate of impunity in the Philippines has intensified even further since President Duarte began his brutal crackdown on suspected drug users and dealers in July, with a wave of unlawful killings claiming more than 5,000 lives across the country. So essentially there's people who are now vigilantes who can kill drug addicts or drug users with impunity, as well as the police have the nod to go ahead and shoot and execute people on the spot. What do you guys think?
It's fucking stupid and retarded. You need due process. Yeah, because you were saying suspected drug users and dealers. Well, that's just it. They're suspected. If you have no proof, you know, what if they're innocent? It's an issue. You need due process, and I think you were saying earlier, it's not a capital punishment, or it's not a capital crime. Drug use.
I think we should fucking kill Matt right now.
Yeah, he's just texting.
No. I mean, I think he's used drugs before.
Oh yeah.
I suspect him of using drugs.
So we could just kill him.
Yeah.
I've never used drugs in my life.
Or do you know? Is there anybody that you hate? We could just go fucking murder them and plant some pot on them.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, let's fucking do that.
Yeah, see how easy that is.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Drug use shouldn't even be met with jail time, let
Most of the time.
alone murder. You know.
And I think that having jail for drug users has some benefit, but I mean, like, I wish mandatory minimums are bullshit. Like, and if you've listened to us for any length of time, you know that that's what we feel about minimum mandatories on drug users.
Well, I think drug addiction is definitely a mental health issue.
Yeah.
So, you're not going to take someone who is mentally ill, let's say, or mentally disabled, and throw them in jail for it.
No, Duarte literally might, though. I think Duarte has no problem with murdering handicapped people.
Well, neither did Hitler. So,
Yeah.
So the thing is, I think with drug addiction, and it depends on the drugs, of course. I think you should have not to be hospitalized, but I think you should have some sort of mental evaluations, get mental help, like rehab and so on, and not jail time. I think jail time for drug addiction is fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Unless you're going around breaking the law to get your drugs, then jail time.
Sure.
But just for drug addiction, it's a mental health issue. It should be treated as one.
Or a tooth issue.
Yeah.
Tooth hurts.
My tooth really does hurt. I'm having a hard time concentrating.
Well,
any final thoughts on that, Matt?
I do have some whiskey.
I might have to take a shot of whiskey. Swished around my mouth.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll kill you for it because whiskey is a drug.
Duarte.
Alrighty, should we move on? Fuck that guy.
Fuck that dude.
Sure. Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right, so this story is coming from Utah. The LDS Church yanks the song called White after lyrics fell flat with Mormons of color. So, I'm going to read some of the lyrics, and you guys...
So, if you don't know about the history of the LDS Church, I'll go into this a little bit.
Okay.
There's Joseph Smith, who is not particularly racist for being of his time, started the Mormon Church and took followers and started heading west until he was arrested for breaking several laws, and rightfully so. And then he was murdered by a mob, unrightfully so. And then Brigham Young and his wife Emma got in an argument about who should lead the church, and Brigham Young took all the loyalists to himself, and they were headed further west to Utah. But Brigham Young was one of the most racist motherfuckers you can ever find. If you have a minute to go read in church history, you will find him saying that obviously the Negro is the inferior race and so forth and so on, and so it has this long history. And the black people were not allowed to carry the priesthood, which is a big deal for male Mormons because of racist policies up until like the 1980s. And so, for a long time, black members of the church felt disenfranchised, and I wouldn't blame anybody for being like, hey, fuck the church based on that. And honestly, that's part of the reason why I think, hey, fuck the church.
Yeah, and I want to point out, too, that the reason why the church started allowing African Americans to hold the priesthood is because the government was going to start charging them as a private club instead of tax exempt as a church.
Yeah, that's part of it. I also don't think that the leaders now or anywhere, because Brigham Young was literally, and the first few after him were literally like some of the most racist things I've ever read.
Oh yeah,
like they were definitely believed that whites were superior and God's chosen people. And in the Book of Mormon, it's even littered with like God saw Nephi's people as white and delightsome, and like those types of things. There's racial overtones and undertones throughout like the Mormon history, and they've expanded like their whole thought process because the most rapid that they're growing is in South America with the brown skinned people down there.
Yeah.
So like of course they have to update their policy or else they won't have enough sheep to shear, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's some of the lyrics. They can be white, bright as the day. After the night, he'll take all the stains away. And then this part, it repeats 3 times in each chorus. They can be white. They can be white. 3 times.
Oh God.
It's pretty crazy.
I want to hear some more. Is there any more?
Let's see if we can find an
Yeah.
audio recording.
Oh, yeah.
So we weren't able to find it.
And it made us sad. We were really expecting to find something, and we couldn't. And I'm sorry to disappoint you guys.
But we will link the words in the description.
Yeah, if you read the lyrics, it's pretty funny. Like we found the whole song
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
Yep.
PDF of the song. The bridge, and they say this 4 times.
They can be white. They can be white.
Over and over, they can be white. Jesus.
Yeah.
On a
Jesus
stick.
was white.
Sometimes it says
He was on
sometimes we're
2
caught
sticks.
in a landslide.
Like this.
2 sticks.
2 sticks.
Crossing each other. Get it? Cross?
You want to play tummy sticks?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what tummy sticks
You
is.
scare me though.
Sounds kind of gross.
Let's play tummy sticks.
It
is gross. If you're not gay. If you are gay, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
Want to play tummy sticks?
No.
Okay.
Alrighty, so our next story.
Whoa. Whoa. Stop it, Matt. Okay, our next story is coming from, who in the hell is it coming from?
Curiosity.
No,
Yes.
it's not.
Curiosity.com.
There you go. Okay. Human chromosomes are only half DNA, and that changes everything. All right, for a long time, scientists thought that DNA was the only thing inside your chromosomes. A new study turns that assumption on its head.
See, science is wrong. Science is always wrong.
See?
Science sucks.
See, the scientists just can't make up their minds.
Yeah, see? This means that God is real.
Yeah.
That's what this means.
This is the science
and this
story.
means evolution isn't real either.
We forgot to do the intro.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun. Science.
Joe.
No. Fuck you.
Okay. Inside every one of your cells is a sort of control hub. It's a cells is a sort of control hub called the nucleus. Inside every nucleus are a bunch of thread-like structures called chromosomes. Chromosomes are what contain your DNA. That familiar double helix structure that contains every one of your 25,000 or so genes, which determine everything from the color of your eyes to the likelihood of developing various diseases. DNA was first identified nearly 150 years ago in 1869 by Swiss chemist Friedrich Miescher. Is that Miescher, Josh?
I think so.
Okay. Though at the time he called it nuclein, which became nucleic acid,
It's
and then
nucleic.
oh, nucleic.
Yeah.
It's not nucleic.
No.
Oh, okay. Nucleic acid, which can become, or which then became. Go ahead, Josh.
No, you got it.
No, go ahead.
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
It's nucleic.
Yep. Sorry.
Or DNA.
Or DNA, yeah. Other scientists, including Phoebus Levine, Orrin Chargaff, and famously Rosalind Franklin, made their own important discoveries about the way DNA works before James Watson and Francis Crick published their seminal paper about the structure of DNA. One of those scientists was Walter Fleming, who in 1879 coined the term chromatin from the substance within the nucleus, which was later found to be the complex of DNA and proteins that make up chromosomes. For the first time in 100 years that followed Fleming's discovery, scientists had naturally assumed that chromosomes contain nothing but DNA containing chromatin. Is it chromatin, Josh?
It's chromatin.
Chromatin?
Yep.
Stupid words.
And just so you know, it wasn't Franklin. It was Franklin.
Franklin. All right, so in 2016, a study published in the Journal of Molecular Cell found something startling. Sorry, Cookie. Just a little over half of every chromosome is DNA. The rest, 30 to 47%, is made up of an unidentified sheath-like structure. They were able to make such an earth-shattering discovery because of a super precise imaging technique called 3D CLEM, which combines light and electron microscopy with computer modeling to create detailed 3D images of all 46 human chromosomes. I'll just finish it up right here. The researchers aren't sure what the sheath-like structure does, but they think it might keep chromosomes separated during cell division. That might protect DNA from the kinds of coding errors that cause birth defects and other genetic issues. Either way, this forces scientists to change the way they think about everything from the structure of chromosomes to the process of cell division and stuff. So it's, it's cool. I love how science isn't afraid to say, oh, we thought it was all this, but now, after new research and new studies, we're going to change what we thought, But that's the thing. They research and they study and they see other things and they'll add to it or take away.
And they're not changing it just because some guy says so, because some great scientist.
Parents of a teenager tonight
Whoa.
are shocked to find that their son spent over $4,000 on a free mobile game.
Right click.
The 100%.
There you go.
Whoa.
Boom.
Whoa.
Boom.
Yeah, so science changes because of the evidence, not because of something a scientist says.
Yeah, and they don't cherry pick, too. They don't cherry pick their science, Like most, I'm sorry, but a lot of the Christians, a lot of your neighbors, a lot of the family members, a lot of these Christians cherry pick the fuck out of their books.
Yeah.
And it's fucking stupid. If, they'll take one, we don't like homosexuals, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, you can't eat shellfish. You can't have shellfish. Sorry, you can't have shellfish. Oh, well, that's from the Old Testament. So is your fucking the homosexual part. It's in the same goddamn book.
Yeah. The Ten Commandments are from the Old Testament.
And the Ten Commandments are bullshit.
Yeah. But that's the thing. They cherry pick. Science doesn't fucking cherry pick.
No.
We see evidence. We gather evidence. We find the facts, and we stick to it. And then if some other evidence comes up and proves that wrong, then we agree to it and say, okay, and we change the way we look at science.
Yeah, it holds positions tentatively based on the evidence, and it's willing to change based on the evidence.
Yeah, in the natural world, and we can find evidence for.
Yeah, in the story it said the word microscopy. Do you know what that reminded me of?
What?
Donald Trump's hands.
Microscopy.
You know what we should do? We should take your little mouse and ship it to Donald Trump.
Mail it to the White House.
Yeah.
That's actually
But
really
you'd
good
want to put on the box super large mouse so he doesn't feel insecure about using it.
Yeah, and then when he opens it, because then he will, super large, because my hands are huge.
Because my hands are huge.
It fits perfectly.
Yeah.
That is funny. I wonder what would happen. Nothing, huh?
Well, who knows? We can say from recklessly skeptical or something like that.
I wrote Obama years ago, like when he first ran, and I got a letter back. But I'm sure it was written by one of his
AIDS or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was typed
Wait,
and then signed.
Obama has AIDS?
AIDS.
So is this your time for your story, Matt?
Yeah, let's talk about
I know
my
you were
story.
jealous about a
No,
song.
I want an outro for the science story.
No, I'm going to give Matt an intro.
I want an outro for the science story, too.
Okay, here's your outro. Suck it.
Joe.
No.
Suck it, Joe.
Oh, wait.
That was pretty good.
You tricked me.
All right, what's my intro?
I think it was bum.
Secular story.
No, stop.
No?
What is going on here?
That was it.
Oh, that's all my
story.
intro is?
Yeah. Bum, secular story.
No.
Yeah.
I think it was just the bum bum bum.
No, last time I threw in secular story.
Okay, let's start from the top.
Okay.
Just don't join in.
Why?
Just let me do.
Okay.
Bum 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 bum.
To our listeners, I have no idea what the fuck is going on right
That's
now.
okay. That's okay.
And
we
I-
don't either.
And I'm not drunk.
You're not?
I was so drunk last night, but I'm not right now. All right.
You didn't drive to the party then.
Huh?
Was Diane driving? Or she has, Uber it.
We'll talk about that later.
He doesn't know how they got home.
No, I know how we got home. All right, so we have another after-school Satan Club. Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome. So did you drive home drunk last night then? Is that what you're saying?
No. I did not do that, Joe. That's illegal. No, that's not what happened.
Oh, okay.
Duarte would have killed him, and he knows it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so while a handful of Tacoma Catholics prayed on a nearby street corner, members of the Satanic Temple of Seattle arrived Wednesday afternoon to Point Defiance Elementary. That's Point Defiance, right? Isn't that a weird?
At Point Defiance Elementary
Sure.
School.
Isn't
That's
that-
cool.
Isn't that a weird
I like that
name for
name.
a school?
Yeah.
That's why there's Satanists there. In Tacoma to debut the state's first after-school Satan Club for kids, Temple leader Lilith Starr dubbed the premier meeting an after-school open house for parents and students a success. So, what's interesting, there was 11 parents and 9 kids that went, and 2 of the kids were Christian. So I'm sure their parents took them there, and it goes on to say that they were nice and everything was good.
Oh, okay.
So some Christians went to the after-school Satan Club.
Good.
Well, where is this? Washington, you were saying?
No, Tacoma.
Tacoma, Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, I think they're a little more liberal up there. It seems
Yeah.
like I got friends who live up there, and I don't know. I really want to go visit Washington.
You should.
Yeah.
You can get rained on.
Yeah, I don't mind the rain. Can't rain all the time.
Have you ever been to Washington?
No.
So the temple, part of a national group based in Salem, Massachusetts, is launching Satan clubs around the country as an alternative at public schools that host Christian after-school programs.
Do we have any Satan clubs here in Salt Lake?
Like after school or just
After school
there-
programs or anything
not
like
that I know of, but there is a Satanist community here.
Okay. Do they have a temple here?
No.
I don't know.
I'm fairly confident they don't. I think that when we had the American Atheist thing here, I talked to some of the Satanist people, and it didn't sound like they were going to get one here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at least not anytime soon. They had the guy who's in charge of it, Lucius. He wanted to put any expansion on pause until he felt like he could take his hands out of a lot of it, because he was doing like unbelievable amount of work at the time. Because he's trying to organize all these events and trying to deal with lawsuits and trying to do all this stuff. So he needed to build up the local leadership in different areas. So that's what he was focused on.
Oh, okay.
So I know that there are Satanists here who are kind of starting that process, but I don't think that we'll have a building or a clubhouse or a temple or any of that, at least for the foreseeable future. I wouldn't be surprised if we get one eventually, but it probably wouldn't be for another 4 or 5 years.
Okay. And most Satanists are atheists, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The Satanic Temple specifically is they're atheists.
Yeah, and I mean they're atheists with like a really sharp secularist edge, which is why we're big fans of them.
Yeah.
There are other Satanist groups.
That are straight up like, Satan, I love you.
Yeah. But the Satanic Temple,
Yes.
because isn't there like the Church of Satan, and that's different than the Satanic Temple.
Yeah, and that's why when we read these stories, it specifies Satanic Temple.
Oh, okay.
Tacoma Public Schools' decision to allow the Satan Club has sparked protests from parents. Ooh, wow, surprising. Last month, a group of Point Defiance parents asked the Tacoma School Board to prohibit it. District officials cited a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that compels public schools that open their facilities for after-school rental to make the facilities available to all kinds of groups. So
Really, not just Christians and
Yeah,
people
so-
who like guns and stuff?
if you have your Christian group, you got to allow the Satanists. Go fuck yourself.
That don't sound right. It should just be Christians and that's it. No Muslims, no Satanists, no jihadis or horned skull people.
None?
What?
None.
Alrighty.
So, Joe, what's next?
Well, I was thinking about doing another science story. I know I already did one, but this one, it keeps popping up in my head. So I figured we should probably...
But we won't call it a science story. We'll just call it a regular story.
Just a regular story.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so ammonia has been detected in Earth's lower atmosphere for the first time. For the first time, scientists have detected trace amounts of ammonia in the upper troposphere, the lowest of Earth's atmospheric layers. Released into the atmosphere as an agricultural emission from livestock farming and fertilization, ammonia has been found in the highest concentrations above India and China, where population and economic growth have been skyrocketing in recent years. Earth's troposphere extends from 7 to 20 kilometers or 4 to 12 miles above sea and contains up to 80% of the planet's atmosphere and all-weather phenomena. So a team from, Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Germany analyzed satellite data collected from various parts of the troposphere between June 2002 and April 2012 and calculated that the 3-month averages They identified atmospheric ammonia, a chemical compound of nitrogen and hydrogen, some 12 to 15 kilometers or 7.5 to 9.3 miles above sea level in the area of the Asian monsoon. This accumulation of ammonia was found at a concentration of up to 33 pptv, or 33 ammonia molecules per trillion, above North India and Southeast China. Similar levels of ammonia were detected nowhere else on Earth. We have presented the first evidence of ammonia being present in Earth's upper troposphere above 6.2 miles, the team reports. So, yeah, I'm done reading that. So, basically, this is all happening over where there's a lot of economic growth. And I was reading another story. They want to start giving cows, kale and seaweed. They think that should bring down a lot of our ammonia, shit like this, CO2 levels and stuff, which I think is a good idea. They said it could bring it down quite a bit if they start feeding cattle seaweed.
But what if they just stick corks in their butt?
They could do that too, but what if won't the cows explode?
Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be so cool.
I was kind of speechless. Exploding cow shit.
I feel kind of sullen today. What about you guys? Kind of drained and boo.
I don't know why you feel that way.
Mm.
You need more coffee.
I feel that way. I'm tired.
Yeah,
I don't have a job.
Yeah, you quit a job without having another job. Mom has beat that in our heads.
I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah, true. What's the point of having a job if they're not paying you?
Yeah. Matt got a hand job.
Do you want to put that company on blast? Tell them what company it was. Don't go work there. They don't pay you.
Doesn't matter.
No, it's fine.
No?
Because I have friends that work there. So.
Oh, okay. Poor guys.
But yeah, like,
did they get paid?
Life's good, right, guys?
Life is good.
Life is good.
You guys both have women in your life?
Yes, I'm. She doesn't listen to the podcast, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to propose to her soon.
Isn't that awesome? Woo!
Yeah.
Matt's got a birthday coming up. He's turning 42.
You know what's crazy?
32.
Matt's birthday is the 27th of December, and throughout our lives, I always tried to make sure that I got him a birthday and a Christmas gift. Because I know I used to see it, people would be like, here's your birthday and Christmas gift. It was just usually one gift.
Yeah.
So I always tried to get him 2 gifts. And I'm not really this year. I can't really afford much. But
Guess how much you
maybe
spent
I'll
on the
bring you
ring.
some wine. Huh? No. But now my girlfriend of 2.5, 3 years, her birthday falls on Christmas Day. So now it's like, fuck, now I have Christmas and Matt's birthday and Holly's birthday. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel bad for you birthday or Christmas birthdays.
I don't. I'm hiring Mexicans to pour water on Matt while he's outside.
They used to do that at my old work.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that's where that comes from. I'm not racist. I swear to God.
It was a tradition, like, on your birthday, all the Mexicans will get buckets of water
Yeah.
and dump it on you. And my birthday is in December.
Oh, and so when
And
they...
at work, so they would do it near the end of the day, but then I'd have to leave work, go get Kira from school or the daycare, and then go home.
Yeah, so
And I'm, like, soaking wet in the middle of December.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you have the heater all the way up?
Oh, yeah.
Would you go start your vehicle up before the end of the day?
No, but I tried to sneak out. Everybody, if it was your birthday, you would try to sneak out, and they would get you. What's funny is the main guy that would do it, his name was Juan.
Yeah.
Main guy. He was always the instigator. Well, his birthday is in January, and I remember one year his birthday came up, and everybody's like, we're going to fucking get this guy.
Yeah.
And he was in my shop. I swear, dude. There was like 3 different entrances into my shop,
Yeah.
and I'm standing there, and Juan's over here, and all in the same second, mobs of Mexicans came running in every entrance.
Really?
Like 30 of them. I swear to God, all with 5-gallon buckets full of water. And he started running around, and it was just chaos, buckets of water flying everywhere. He made it outside into the snow
Yeah.
and, like, you know, hit a corner and slipped and fell, and they all just
They
dumped
all-
water all over. I just remember, like, looking up and just... like 30 Mexicans come running in with all the buckets of water all at the same time.
Did you panic for a second?
No,
Did your heart beat for a second? Like, oh.
no. Instantly, I knew what was going on. And
Yeah.
I just started
He just-
laughing.
Put on the Spanish League and watched.
Yeah.
You didn't help? You weren't involved on that one?
No, I hated that tradition.
Oh, so you were like, no.
Yeah.
And that's why we're continuing it.
Shut up, Josh.
There we go. Oh.
So, and then, I mean, what are you guys doing for New Year's? You guys excited to go into 2017 and be like, fuck you, 2016?
I'm done with 2016. I am too many disappointments in 2016. You know, Bernie, Trump. Like, I am over it. I've had a lot of personal issues going on. Like, so I'm ready.
Like your tooth?
And, well, yeah.
Like, that's the main one, right?
That's the main one right there. It fucking hurts, man. What?
Just imagine that while Mexicans are running around listening to the water. But I mean, like, as much as like we're in a sullen mood, like there's still cool things going on, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of good things going on. Christmas is coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we doing next week for Christmas, Matt?
Yeah, do you want to do the podcast on Monday?
Or Saturday?
Or
we could do it on Christmas.
I don't know. Let's figure it out after.
I say Monday.
I'm probably leaning that way too. You don't have a job.
Yeah.
I might have an interview tomorrow. So.
But, do you think they're going to hire you and make you work the 26th?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, because I have Monday off. Josh has Monday off.
Yeah, and besides, this gives you an opportunity to go work your fucking dream job. And you can spend some time making videos this week.
It's true.
Kansas City is up 14-0, which is like, yeah, go Kansas City.
Or are you guys talking foosball?
Yeah, and Cincinnati's ahead by like 17 points, too.
They're the Chicago Bears, right?
No, Cincinnati is the Bengals.
The Cincinnati is the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. You know, the Oakland Raiders are from Tennessee.
Matt, who is Cincinnati playing today?
Are they playing Pittsburgh today? I know some of the last couple games are Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Let's see. Los Angeles is against Seattle. Miami
The
is against
Pittsburgh
the Jets.
Pirates. Right, Matt?
That's baseball, but yes.
Philadelphia is playing Baltimore. Cleveland is playing Buffalo. Green Bay is playing Chicago. Uh-oh, Matt.
Chicago Bulls.
Let me see. Yeah, it does look like they're playing against the Steelers.
Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Oh, God. We need a win.
But are you?
Are we going to?
Yeah.
Of course. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
No, I'm being honest. Like, I want you to be honest. I don't want you to be stuck in your crazy little state of mind. Because you know what? When I watch fans, like, stick by their team, it reminds me of, like, crazy Christians. You know, it's like, is that even true? Yes. We're going to win.
The only... You're totally maxing that out. Don't do that.
Sorry.
I think the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl every year.
But are they going to win Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Well, if they don't beat Cincinnati
Do you
today,
swear to
then
God?
Baltimore
I swear
wins.
to God.
If Baltimore wins and Cincinnati loses today, then that puts it up in the air whether they're going to make it or not.
If Cincinnati
wins, so if the Bengals beat the Steelers.
and then Baltimore wins, that's bad, yeah.
Is the Super Bowl getting close?
I think it's February. It's like the beginning of February. or
So,
something.
like, how far into the season are we? Into the football
most of the
season.
way. A lot of
Yeah.
teams have been eliminated.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the Super Bowl is at Pittsburgh Stadium this year. So, and then the Steelers are going to...
Rigged.
Rigged.
It's rigged. But it doesn't matter if they win, right?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I want the Chiefs to win.
It's rigged, but we won, so it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's get into our final story. We just decided to bullshit for a minute to try and lighten the mood because these two dopes look dopey.
I'm tired. Marley, so Marley's my youngest, and Marley could not, she was up till like fucking 4:30 last night, and I was trying to get her back to sleep, and she would not, she just wanted to play, run around the house, and I'm like, quiet down, you need to, I'm like, you go to bed, right now, you go night. And she was like, nah. And she's a year and a half, and so, like, she'll argue with me, but she's a year and a half. It's cute, you know. So I let it slide. If she was any older, like 10, and was trying to argue with me, she'd, you know, I don't believe.
Put in her place.
Yeah. But I'm super tired because of that. Plus, my tooth hurts and stuff. And I didn't get much sleep the other day because, so Marley's been sick, and the other day before work I was sitting with her and she was falling asleep on the couch, and she never falls asleep. Like it's
She never sleeps?
well especially during the day, it's a chore to get her to take a nap, but she was just sitting there on the couch falling asleep, and she had real light breathing. She was breathing and I was like, okay, there's something up. So I took her to the doctor, and her oxygen levels were extremely low. They said any lower, and they were going to hospitalize her. And so they did an oxygen treatment. Her oxygen levels didn't go back up. So they did another oxygen treatment. And it's really hard to do an oxygen treatment on a 1.5-year-old because they don't like the mask and they can't hold still.
Yeah.
And stuff. So they did the second one. Her oxygen levels didn't go back up. They were still in the 80s, like 86, 88, somewhere around there. And and then the nurses went out and they were talking, and the doctor were talking, and I'm like, crap, you know. And they said it is an issue, but while they were out there talking, I was watching the monitor, and her oxygen levels started to go back up and stuff. But that all really made me nervous and stuff. So I've been stressed because of that.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, it's way scary, especially seeing that mask, and they're saying if her oxygen levels were any lower, we definitely have an issue right here. You know, it would be very dangerous and stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, Kira, when she was a baby, something kind of like that, but we had to call 911. The ambulance came and got her, and she was in the ICU?
The NICU?
Yeah, something like that. For a few days, so
It's
they could monitor.
scary.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah, and they told me that once her oxygen levels came back up, they cleaned her out with this vacuum, you know, to get it, because she's been sick, to get all the snot and phlegm.
Mm-hmm.
But they said if her breathing goes like that again, don't hesitate, bring her back right away. Come back. right away.
Hopefully everything is
So,
all right.
Well, she seemed a lot better after they cleaned her out and they did the oxygen treatment. She seemed a lot better, and then she went to bed fine. She woke up with all this energy, and she's been nonstop since. I wish she would go to sleep.
So you guys want to hear a story about my kids?
Yeah.
All right, now let's get to the next story. So the last story we're talking about today is on the Electoral College.
Woohoo!
Let me find it. It's a CNN article, I think. Nope, that is not the one I want.
Can I get a rigging degree at the Electoral College? That was pretty good, huh, Josh?
That was a good pun. That was a tier 1 pun.
A tier 1?
Yep. So here is the New York Times. It's a story by them. They write stories. It's called the Electoral College.
Do they?
Yep, it's called the Electoral College Meets Monday. Here's what to expect. And so the electors, if you're unaware, because a lot of people are painfully unaware, as I demonstrated at the party I was at last night, that the Electoral College is more than one part. When you vote in your district for your elector.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's done by your state, at the state level, whoever has the most popular votes in the state as far as presidential candidates go. All of the electors they're electors selected based on that. And then those electors go and vote on Monday. This year it happens to be on Monday, December 19th, which is tomorrow. And then they vote, and then you have your president based on that vote. In some states, they make it so that it is against the law for them to vote outside of the way that they were pledged to vote. Other states, it's not that way. You can vote for whoever your conscience decides if you're an elector. But so far, in the entire history of the Electoral College, it has always gone for the state. The state has always voted based on who they're selected, outside of a few exceptions. So, what happens tomorrow, what makes tomorrow especially strange, is that for the first time ever, we have the most unqualified presidential candidate we've ever had in the history of America.
Yeah, he just tweeted out what?
Oh, yeah, the China thing. Yeah. He just, out in the open, just like, China just took one of our science drones, our
it was
science drones out of the sea in an unprecedented way.
And just totally stole it.
And then, like, the next, he sounds like a surfer when he says it. I wish that you had your computer. That'd be useful.
And then he said something about, like, they can just keep it.
Yeah.
They can keep it. They just stole it, but whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The specifics.
Also, do you guys want the nuclear codes? Should I tweet those, too?
God, he's such a moron. But so far, there's been one elector in Texas who's a Republican who said that they are for sure not going to vote for Trump. The people in Denver are already sued to try and get the right to not vote with their state. And
Really?
This would be Democrats trying to vote for someone, not Trump. The idea that it's called the Hamilton electors, and that's a website, and it's trying to put pressure on people to vote for anybody besides Trump. Again, this is kind of like the last of the never Trump moves.
Could they all just vote for Bernie? Is that possible? Could
I'm
they just?
No.
Can I plead? Please just vote for Bernie.
I'm just not going
They
to get
won't.
your hopes up, Joe. Like,
I know.
They're gonna. Let's say something happened and they voted for somebody besides Trump. They're gonna vote for a Republican still.
Yeah. So what the idea was? The early idea was to vote for, say, Mitt Romney or for the guy in
Kasich?
Yeah, Kasich. Or a couple of other guys. They were all just chatting about it and trying to figure out who they were going to vote for. So what they were hoping to do is get 170 for somebody specific. So that way, then there would be no decision to be made by the Senate. But most likely, what it sounds like is that what now the goal is to try and get 34 Republican electors to defect, and that way then it would go to the Senate or the House of Representatives. I can't remember which one. The House of Representatives, I think.
I think it's the House, and then doesn't the Senate pick the VP? And if I remember, the VP has to, or the Senate has to pick between the top two who got the most votes. So they would have to pick between Kane and Pence.
Well, when we get there,
But I feel like Pence is just as dangerous, if not more.
Oh, he's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Yeah, he's not good. But we'll, I mean, like, we'll get into the nitty gritty if we need to, because I'm skeptical that anything besides Trump winning happens.
They're going to vote for Trump. Maybe a few people won't, but I think.
But you said most
Trump.
of the time, our president-elect usually becomes president.
Every time so
Every
far.
single time.
Yep.
Okay.
But I mean, like, of all the quirky things that have happened in this electoral process, this would just be another quirky thing. Like,
Yeah.
nothing is out of the realm of possibility anymore. It seems.
So Bernie could still become president.
Besides that, I just don't want to, dude. You don't.
It's
need,
not going to happen, Joe.
How many times do you need your heart broken, Joe?
Please,
He's like
Bernie.
He's like the guy who keeps going back to the woman who breaks his heart over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just.
I was wearing my Bernie shirt all day yesterday.
And
nostalgic.
He was crying and masturbating with his tears.
It's true. In a bathtub of gasoline, burning myself with matches. Is that weird?
A little weird.
Oh, okay. Then maybe just the crying part. And
So, yeah. So hopefully, maybe we'll have some news for you next week on that. But I think that's it. Unless any of you guys want to cover anything else.
I think Bernie Sanders
that
winning would be a Christmas miracle.
Well, you better.
Do you believe in Christmas miracles, Matt?
No.
No, not at all.
Josh, you didn't turn your phone off.
Yeah, and that would be a punishment. Except that nobody's ever given us punishments to do.
Bastards.
Alrighty, well, thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this weekly podcast of Recklessly
Are we already done? I felt like that was fast.
Well,
We're done. It's an hour.
We had a lot of quiet
Dude,
moments where I just
it's
felt
noon.
like I wanted to nap.
It's noon. I mean, like we're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we are good.
Yeah. What was the one last thing I was gonna have you say or do? But I guess let's do the outro.
Yeah, it's something to do with Trump.
No.
All right, well,
Right? No?
remember, you can find this podcast on Spreaker and on YouTube. And remember, go check out our other channels, ZZZ Giant Awake and The Evil Atheist.
And Matt should be on The Evil Atheist like 4 times since he has no job.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, go delete the other one so people stop liking that and they can find our group page.
Our actual group page.
Yeah, and then let's I don't know. Yeah, you ain't got a job.
All right, thanks for listening, everyone.
We love you.
Think.
Passionately.
You ruined it.
Oh, sorry.
Think passionately. All right.